Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition and in festive red. Hope you're having a good day. You had a good week. We're at the end of the week. But at least as I always connect to that, we're not at the end of our rope. Not yet. And holidays in play, boy. We're going to have a party here today at the station. They've been working on it for over a week, so it's pretty nice. Creates a nice vibe, and
it's beautiful out front right now. I saw it.
You see that?
It's raining here, but it's beautiful in out front in the building.
Is it raining out?
Yes.
Is it? Got a little dark. I noticed it was dark. But
you missed. Sammy's in here with us today.
Sammy has been our intern, and I want to thank her.
It's her last day. She's got. You're going to come back after the first semester too?
Oh, you're coming back? Oh, I thought we got rid of her.
Yeah. New meat.
Oh, darn it. Well, we want to thank her for and HCC, Hillsborough Community College, for providing the interns. I enjoy having the students come in and work in the station, in the studio. I was a professor for 25 years or so, and I miss that. So it's always nice to have the interns around, working, learning. They get real hands-on experience. It takes you from the textbook to the application of what's in the books, and that's good for them. Theory and practice. As Kurt Lewin used to say, there's nothing more practical than a good theory and nothing more theoretical than good practice. So we like that. And we appreciate what you've done. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you and Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. And even if you are not a believer, whatever. This is, of course, this show, if nothing else, is open-minded. We embrace everybody. We're not going to let religion, politics, anything get in the way of what? Appreciating that we're all in this together and to help one another. And one way to help one another is to educate, to share insight, information, wisdom, that at the end of the day, we are all in it together, meaning life, the beginnings and the ends of it. And whatever happens in between, sometimes unfortunate, but many times human beings are able to do good things for one another. We see it all the time around the world, notwithstanding our areas where we need to improve in our relations with each other. But on the whole, right? And one of the things I concluded in my own battle and struggle these past 14 or 15 months is that I concluded that most of the time, most people are mostly good. And I believe that, notwithstanding our faults. And boy, when you stand in that line, I'm the first one. But I do believe that most of the time, most people are mostly good. And that's I don't think that's naive. I'm far from naive. I may be idealistic and optimistic, but I'm not stupid or naive. And I understand how sometimes people can be cruel. I know that. You've seen it. I've seen it. And why that happens, who knows? I'll leave that to the therapist to figure out. But this show embraces that principle, or that belief, to educate and empower each and every person that listens and watches, including myself, to take charge of our health and all that may mean. Had a guest on yesterday, Dr. Alan Logan. He said, I was listening, I don't know if you remember Gary, but So I was listening to your intro, Dr. Garko, yesterday. I did in my monologue. And he said, I came to the conclusion that your show is far more than just about nutrition. And he got to the point that I came to understand myself after 12 years. It's really a show about life. And it just so happens that health, wellness, and well-being are threads that weave that fabric together, our life. And that nutrition is an element of those dimensions, health, wellness, and well-being, an important dimension. In fact, I agree with Michael Crawford that is the driving force. It's a driving force. He thinks it's the driving force, biologically speaking. And if you read his book, Driving Force, you'll understand. He thinks that was at the heart and soul of our evolution. Food, nutrition. So, Dr. Logan was saying, I listened to what you were saying, and it seems that and that has happened. It came to me, and I've said, and I shared this with the people that work on the show. I said, for the longest time, I kept saying, there's something I'm not grasping. I'm not able to express it. And I was searching for it. And then when I got sick, I realized what it was. And it was this, that in its heart and soul, we're trying to touch people's lives here. And to tap in to those elements that will help make people's lives better. Yes, the highway that we travel is, there are like three: health, wellness, and well-being. And we're using the map of nutrition to guide us, if I can use that metaphor. But it is a show about life. The calls that I get, the emails, the things that people reveal and say to me. People listen for a variety of reasons. We know this. People listen just to have ambient noise in the room. They'll listen because they want to learn. People listen for a variety of reasons. But something about health talk shows, when people listen to a health talk show, usually it's very purposeful. They have some intention. They're trying to do better. Right? They want to do better. They want to learn. They want to, right?
Okay, so I've been with the company for about 5 months, full time now.
Right.
And it seems like every time that me and you do an event, or even when I'm out and about and I go to the different health food stores in the Bay Area, or even in Georgia, people seem to want to know more. They have a thirst for knowledge.
Absolutely.
Especially about their health.
Absolutely.
And a fine example is was morbidly obese when I first started here.
Yeah.
You're
a little heavy.
I'm still a little heavy, but I was morbidly obese.
When you get on that motorcycle, I noticed the tires go down a little bit.
And it starts screaming. But when I came here, I weighed 318, Doc, and now I'm down to 274 as of this morning.
We got a ways to go.
Yeah.
But my guest in his first hour can tell you the comments and what I just shared with you. He's a very thoughtful fellow and, reflective and spiritual. And I know he thinks about these things. Dr. Jason Mitchell. You can bring him on when we come back from these important messages that you'll hear. But in this time of year, I just wanted to comment and just say that let us not lose sight of what we're doing during this time of year. We're celebrating life. We're celebrating, those parts of life that are where you need faith.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day. giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
And regular guest on the show for many years. So we were quite familiar with who he is and what he's all about. And one always consistent thing about him, he's very passionate about what he does. He's a perfectionist, and he's committed to his purpose. That I know. And you'll hear that in his voice. Dr. Mitchell, Merry Christmas. Welcome to the show.
Merry Christmas, Dr. Karko. Thanks for having me.
How are you, pal?
I'm doing all right. I'm preparing for the holidays and thankfully not traveling for the rest of the year, which is a really good thing. Usually I travel quite a bit, so this is going to be a welcomed relief for a couple of weeks.
Right. You don't have to leave that giant photograph at the house anymore so your family remembers who you are.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Your wife says, this is Daddy. You remember? This is your dad.
Yeah.
How old's your boy now?
He's 10 and a half.
Oh, my God. I remember when he was crawling on the floor.
No, I know.
I came to your house. You probably don't remember, but he was just a baby, man.
I do actually remember, and he was really tiny, absolutely. He was probably probably a little under a year old at that point.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I have a good memory. So you're home. That's good. It's nice to have your family there and wonderful.
Yeah, everybody's good.
Yeah, everybody's good. Yeah, isn't it crazy? People so well intentioned during this time of year, and they get caught up in the stream of all the stress and the whatever, and they're trying to do a good thing, and they end up, getting sideways with themselves or with others, and they forget about their health, and they're eating bad food. Their immune system is becoming compromised because they're not sleeping well, eating well, they're traveling, and this and that, and it's a mess. But maybe we can help, right?
Right, absolutely. But they also forget about the fact that this season is supposed to be something to remind us, starting in the end of November, towards the end of November, to be thankful and to be able to welcome and celebrate family and life, and depending on your beliefs of where you sit. And I can appreciate the openness to embrace all. But we're a strong family of faith, and that we realize what this is all about. It's not about how many gifts are under the tree. It's not about how many things you bought for somebody, or it's really about bringing family together. It's about understanding that having quality of life is incredibly important, and not necessarily how much you have in life, but rather the quality that you live. And it's a pretty important thing. In response to some of the things you were saying at the beginning, you know how people send around the letters where they tell you a year in review of their family?
Yes.
Well, it's inevitable that you'll have people that tell you, especially younger families that haven't really reached that point where mortality or health or things of that nature are a major issue. Or maybe there is, depending. And you'll hear all these different stories about all these wonderful things that are happening. And then you'll also get the letters that are very optimistic but are disclosing that there's been some challenges, but we're making headway. And you start to see that health is a huge piece of our lives every day. And paying attention to it, taking better care of ourselves is a really important thing. And it becomes really clear how much we need to take care of ourselves when something happens. But unfortunately, when there's no symptoms, there's no apparent challenges, we kind of take it for granted.
Don't we, though?
Oh, my gosh. We assume that we can eat anything, we can do anything. I travel a lot, so I sit next to people on the planes, and I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody, and they find out what I do. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, my gosh, I was perfectly healthy till I was 50. And I said, well, I hate to break it to you, you weren't. You just didn't have any symptoms. And see, our medical community trains you to believe that the absence of symptoms means you're okay, and that the fact that once a symptom arrives, that's when you should start paying attention. And I say, nay, you should actually start taking care of yourself long before there are ever symptoms. There's no guarantee that if you eat healthy, you'll live forever. But I can tell you if you eat healthy and treat yourself better, you're likely to have a better quality of life while you're here. And it's interesting, when you look at symptoms, they treat them with medications. Now, I'm not against allopathic medicine and treating with, and where medication is valuable for certain circumstances.
You've used it. You've used that,
of course,
paradigm yourself.
Absolutely, and I don't push away the idea that medicine is important at certain times. However, what I will say, when it comes to nutrition, there's nobody that can convince me that we're deficient in a statin drug, or we're deficient in an antibiotic, or we're deficient in an opioid pain medication. See, these are things that are used to cover symptoms, but what we are deficient in is probably a healthy approach to eating and a balanced nutrition that supplies vitamins and nutrients. My doctoral dissertation was on whole food nutrition and understanding the wholeness of food, not eating crackers or cookies or things of that nature, or casseroles. Boy, that's like a bad word. That'd probably be the worst four-letter word if you could spell it in 4 letters. But casserole you know, these things that we end up seeing all the time at these holiday, you know, celebrations or dinners or what have you. I just say that, you know, the wholeness of food is really important, and approaching things in a healthy way is better. Although I have a lot of faults when it comes to my diet too, so I can't sit here on a pedestal. I can just say that being mindful of taking care of yourself is something wise.
As listening to you talk, for some reason, my dad came to my mind. And as a boy, I used to watch him paint the house. And I would watch, and first thing he would do, he would wash it down, literally. It would take him a day or two. Then I would see him with a putty knife and lumber, and then he would be repairing things, fixing rotten wood, replacing it. And then like maybe 4 days later, he'd start to paint. In other words, sometimes people just sort of put paint over the house and don't do the real important work of the repair before they paint. In other words, it's just cosmetic. And I was listening to you. In other words, you got to get to the heart of the matter and get to the fundamentals and not just do things on the surface. I'll explain more, and so will Dr. Mitchell.
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Dr. Jason Mitchell is my guest today in this holiday edition of Let's Talk Nutrition. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back.
Thanks.
Preparation. So what should listeners and viewers of the show be doing during these unfolding days, holiday days, as we move toward the new year and beyond the new year? What is it that they need to do to maintain, to help create, sustain, or reclaim their health? What do you suggest?
The first thing is state of mind. And I'm probably as guilty as anybody of allowing stress and allowing whatever's going on in my work life to affect my home life and things of that nature. And I think state of mind is a really important thing. I know the expectation is that I own a dietary supplement company based on probiotics and digestive health, which is really incredibly important, and probably, in my opinion, one of the most important areas of supplementation because it supports one of the most important systems of the body. But I think state of mind, keeping a positive, healthy state of mind is really probably very important because it's one of the things that can take you right off kilter very quickly and create a lot more stress and strife in the family than if you didn't. And I'm probably as guilty, if not more guilty than most, simply because of stress. But if we're talking about the basics, if your digestive system is working efficiently and properly and is properly supported, virtually everything else that you do as it relates to dietary supplements, every food that you eat, and all that you consume to support and build your health and wellness, whatever the choices that you take, processed and utilized better if the digestive system was working correctly. And it comes in, two primary areas. It's digestive enzymes to properly process the food that you consume, and then probiotics that help to restore balance in the gut, that help you deal with things like immune health and balanced nutrition and healthy motility and the removal of toxins and the defense of pathogens and all those things that are really important areas that a focus for the digestive system. So digestive enzymes and probiotics become a very important strategy this time of year. One thing I didn't mention a minute ago, I always mention this, and it's really important. Thousands of years ago, a very wise person, Hippocrates, said, "Let food be thy medicine." He did not say, let some lab-created, chemically synthesized, isolated compound be medicine. He said, let the food. So how we approach our food and how well we approach digestion and support of the digestive system, I believe, is going to be one of the most important strategies that anybody that can take, especially during the holidays. But don't forget, this is a year-round strategy, not just the holidays.
Exactly. 877-897-8255 will put you in holiday touch with Dr. Jason Mitchell. Digestive enzymes, probiotics, fiber, that trilogy. Your company knows a thing or two about probiotics. There's this thing, what's it called? Probulin. You really have come a long way with that. It's made its way into the marketplace in a big way. In the natural product space, it's doing quite well, I understand.
Yeah, one of the things is it's doing really well, and I'm very grateful and thankful. But one of the most driving forces, one of the biggest inspirations that I had when I actually started the company was that I was going through a severe digestive challenge of my own. And I'm not suggesting that my products cured me. That's irresponsible, right? That's just not correct. And those that do that ought to second-guess themselves, second-guess what they're about to say, because you shouldn't suggest that a product is what cures you. See, your body knows how to cure itself. Just give it half a chance, and it'll show you. But see, when I was going through that challenge in my life, I was looking for what could I do to inspire others to take better care of their digestive system so that maybe they don't have to go through what I did, or maybe not as severe of a problem as what I did. And so out came Probulin. And Probulin is a probiotic company primarily. We do have digestive enzymes as well. And we also have probiotic skin care, which is something that helps to support the largest organ of the body, your skin. But the main inspiration for me was that if you take better care of your digestive system, your body will be better supported and healthier as a result, and you'll live a better quality of life. And so what we did is we looked at all these different probiotics in the marketplace, and here's the good news. You can't go wrong with any probiotic. Every probiotic is a good probiotic. The question is there one that can work better? And that was what we were focused on. We were focused on making an advancement, taking a step forward. And when we were looking at this, we found a huge opportunity is that when taking a probiotic, these are living organisms. It's not like a vitamin that you absorb. In fact, it's almost like you're adopting pets. I know it sounds silly, but it's like you're adopting these living organisms to kind of take up residence for a period of time in your gut so that they can then in turn support and protect your body. And well, these are living organisms, but unfortunately on their journey from when you swallow that capsule or that powder or whatever, there's a lot of obstacles that they come up against as to whether or not they'll survive is the key. And we created a delivery system that we affectionately call MacTrek 3D Probiotic Delivery System, and we've compiled some scientific evidence, 3 scientific studies to show that our delivery system actually delivers more surviving bacteria than other commonly used delivery systems. And it helps to make sure that it's not about how many billions you take when it comes to probiotics. I mean, I know there's a lot of companies out there that are selling 50, 80, 100, 200, 400. I think there's a company threatening to come out with $1 trillion this year.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, actually, but it's not about how many billions that you take. It's more about how many of the billions that you do consume, how many of them survive. Because theoretically, most of them die. So what we've done is created a delivery system where a vast majority of the bacteria, much more than what would be done by other delivery systems, can survive better. And so when they survive, they can do some really amazing work for you. See, probiotics, they account for a lot of the action of the immune system. In fact, some estimates are as high as 70 or 80% of the action of your immune system is directly correlated to the balance of the gut flora or the bacteria or the good probiotic living beneficial organisms that live in our gut. They also help produce digestive enzymes. They defend against pathogens. They do so many wonderful things for you. But if they're alive is when they do this.
Right.
And so we make sure that they survive. And every one of our formulas uses this delivery system, whether it be just our daily care, which is our #1 seller, or it's the one made for women. And when I say for women, it was specifically designed for women. It was targeted to make sure that women get the added support that they need. And then we have one that's for colon support, people that have challenges with their colon, whether it be diarrhea or constipation, things of that nature. It was designed to give support. But our delivery system is at the core of each of these formulas to make sure that when taken, that you will get the results. Why we've grown the way that we have is because the consumption of our product has yielded the response of our consumers saying, this product actually works and I'm going to use it again. The comments we get are nothing short of amazing. And so it is the driving force because we're not some big marketing company. We have grown by the fact that consumers are spreading the word themselves on how effective our product is, and that's very exciting.
And you can go to Probulin, PROBULIN.com, and learn more, educate yourself, read, check them out. And product is sold in fine health stores throughout the U.S., and those stores that are trying to be fine, they're figuring it out. And if they don't carry the product, ask the manager, the proprietor, whomever, to try and get it for you. It's sold here in the Bay Area for sure, and I know it's everywhere. It's all across the country. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. We're coast to coast, and we're global. You can visit the website at letstalknutrition.com. We don't charge you. And you can read, learn, listen.
Go to our YouTube channel.
There you go.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figures Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Well, maybe what you ought to do during this holiday season is give yourself a gift of health, right? So that you can do better in celebrating others. Keep your digestive system working properly. Certainly, with the temptations abound, there'll be food and, alcoholic beverages and things that, we would need to be mindful about. And I wouldn't say banish them. Take a taste, take a bite, and walk away. And keeping your digestive system is critical. Dr. Jason Mitchell is my guest. He's been talking about probiotics, digestive enzymes. Dr. Mitchell, could you provide a little bit of insight and guidance on when do you take digestive enzymes from Probulin? When do you take the probiotics from Probulin?
That's a really good question. Digestive enzymes, the primary function is they contain a lot of different actives inside the formula to help you digest different parts of your meals. Some enzymes help with protein, different types of proteins, and some enzymes help with different types of carbohydrates. Some help with fats. Some help with things that might be troublesome to your diet, things like lactose in dairy or gluten in breads or things of that nature, or phytates in grains, or elements of the fiber in beans. Well, we have our daily digestive enzyme is built and constructed to be truly full spectrum to address all of those scenarios that I just mentioned, all in one formula. The best time to take a digestive enzyme is at the first bite of the meal. Take it right before you start eating, so that by the time the body really gets down into the digestion of that meal, that enzyme and those enzymes inside the capsule are active and supporting the body in their efforts at actually trying to help you digest and break down that food. Now, when it comes to a probiotic, our MacTrek 3D probiotic delivery system, like I said, is scientifically validated to help these bacteria survive better so they can do more for you. The nice thing about this system is you can take it with or without food. You can take it day or night. It absolutely doesn't matter. The system will work perfectly fine. However, the best time to take a probiotic is at bedtime.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before. How did you reach that conclusion? Did that come to you in a dream or what?
No, scientifically, when you look at how the body works, there's a system in your body called circadian rhythm. There's also like a digestive rhythm, and the bottom line is that through research and through everything, your digestive system is at its lowest level of activity while you sleep, because digestion isn't the primary function of the body. Healing and recovery and repair and storage is really what's happening during bedtime.
Makes good sense.
And so when you're turning the digestive system to its low level of activity, allowing bacteria to enter into a system that is relaxed, it's calm, it helps that you're introducing new inhabitants that might not be so, maybe they're a little shy. I know that's just silly, but
no, I get it.
But the fact is that you're introducing them to and I tell people, put your probiotic right on your nightstand next to your bed, so that it reminds you that when you go to bed, take your probiotic. And
have you experimented with yourself? Have you taken them during the day, then for a while, then taken them at night? And
absolutely, of course.
Do you see any difference noticeable, or is it unnoticeable?
Well, to be honest, I actually notice quite a bit of difference, and I'll tell you that when you look at even taking fiber and things of that nature, there's this. I guess you could say there is some evidence to this as well, but there's a lot of different opinions about it. But, early in the morning, you're in this elimination phase, right? This phase where your body wants to get rid of things that it had before, right? You eliminate by a couple of different means. Well, and so foods that you should eat during the morning should not be really heavy and hard to digest. They should be, very light. And easy to digest, and very dense, full of nutrition, things like berries and fruits and so on. And then around lunchtime, you should eat, something, relatively medium or light or whatever, but your heaviest meal is most often that dinner meal. But after 8 p.m., you really shouldn't eat anymore, because your body's really not set up to be in that high-revving digestive capacity mode.
I see.
And it's more designed to process what you've consumed, utilize it, and then purge what is waste in the morning. And it's during the evening that it's moving everything through and doing things. So when you introduce a probiotic then, what I notice differently is I see the most dramatic change in motility, which is a positive thing, where I can see things change physically. And so I tell people at bedtime, and our products are shelf stable, so using them at bedtime is easy because it doesn't require that they stay in a refrigerator. They can just sit right on your nightstand.
Good.
So, it's something that I tell people, listen, if you can put your probiotic in a place where you remember to take it, and if bedtime is difficult, fine. Just put it wherever it reminds you to take it every day. Because it's really important that the more consistent you are at supporting your digestive system, the more consistent it will be in balance, or at least closer to being in balance, and the healthier, or I should say, the better quality of life one can lead. About 15 years ago, we did a clinical study on a probiotic that I had developed for another company many, many years ago, and we showed that if a probiotic is used correctly, the quality of life improves. It was a very interesting study. So, and I can tell you something as simple as that can really, truly improve health and wellness. So,
and it's never too late. I know, we're in this the grips of the holiday season. Do it now. Yep. Go to your favorite health store and ask for the Probulin brand. They have digestive enzymes. They have probiotics. And listen to what Dr. Mitchell talked about. You had a question, Sammy?
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
I was told that for the digestive system to work, you have to eat like a big breakfast and then a moderate lunch and a light dinner for it to work. Is that true?
I've heard that too. Let's get Dr. Mitchell to comment on that.
Well, there's a lot of different opinions, right? So I think there's a lot of different reasons why people want to offer their advice on certain things here, and they'll always have it backed on some sort of data, so I don't want to criticize anybody that might say this, but here's the deal. When you're breaking the fast is what breakfast means. You've been fasting all night. When you break the fast, you don't want to disrupt why your body is actually going to be eliminating, so you want to support things that support that as well, which is really important. But to keep things going in a cleansing capacity, although your body is breaking out of that fast and eliminating, really it's not about a huge breakfast. It's about a nutritionally dense breakfast. And what I mean by these heavy breakfasts, when people do a bunch of eggs and some toast and bacon and all this other stuff, that's a really heavy breakfast that puts a very severe load on the
that wears me out for you just to say that. I can't even.
But understand, that is a pretty heavy load on the digestive system. But when you think of things that are loaded full of fibers and that are loaded full of antioxidants and powerful vitamins and nutrients, things like fruits like berries and so forth, I think those are far more powerful. And when you talk about doing proteins and so forth, it doesn't always. It can be a real healthy yogurt. Maybe a homemade yogurt is a really cool idea, but there's a lot of really good natural ones out there.
All right, we're almost out of time. So, Probulin, Fine Health Store, wherever you shop, ask for the brand. They have probiotics. They have digestive enzymes. Use good sense during this holiday season. Do yourself a favor. Give those two gifts to yourself. Dr. Mitchell, thank you so much. I wish you and your family the happiest and healthiest of holidays and this coming new year.
Thank you, Dr. Garko. If I can leave you with one thing, I'd like to offer something more as a surprise, but something that you can do as a giveaway.
All right, hold on.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, this holiday edition. Thanks for tuning in today. Dr. Jason Mitchell was my guest in the first portion of the show. I need to carry him over just for a few minutes here. He wanted to share something, and then we'll bring on Neil Levin from Now Foods. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Garko. I only wanted to say one thing, and it's just to, in celebration of Christmas and so forth, a lot of times it's about giving and making sure that we support people instead of just teaching them to actually provide some of the tools as well. And I just wanted to offer an ability. You have exactly, including today's show, you have exactly 12 shows, including today, between now and January 1st. So I figured I would offer one box of Daily Care probiotic and one daily digestive enzyme for you to give away to anybody that you'd like for questions or what have you every day for the next 12 days, or including today. Okay. So I was going to offer, your ability to give away a Daily Care probiotic and a daily digestive enzyme. So
okay, I'll have Gary call you.
Yep.
And he'll set that up with you.
No problem.
And then we'll give that away. We'll give it away. And then I'll call you a little later. I need to talk to you a little bit.
Perfect, Dr. Garko. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. You're generous. Thank you. And glad you could stop by today. So we'll make that happen. Gary and I will figure it out. It's a wonderful time of year and brings out hopefully the best in us. Notwithstanding the pressure, and there is, and if you can just try to remain optimistic, be mindful, practice conscious living and conscious eating and mindfulness. I don't practice mindful meditation. Some do. It's a form of meditation, but you can live mindfully, and you can do that just by being in the moment. Like this morning, I found myself being a little harried, and I was, trying to do this, do that, and I said, stop. I just stopped, and I took I took a few deep breaths through my diaphragm, and I just said, okay. And I just stopped, and I said, get into this moment. And I wasn't doing anything complex. And I was thinking about, what I needed, this and that. I had a bunch of things rolling around in my head. I reminded myself of how I made it through this past year. And it was mindfulness. And it worked. You're just like, okay. Just pull off to the side of the road for a minute.
Okay.
You need to call Dr. Mitchell later.
All right.
Because he's going to give us a product to give away for 12 days.
Ooh.
So you can arrange that with him and get it shipped to us and whatever, okay?
Exactly.
I'll give you the number.
Okay. So this morning we got here early. Both of us got here pretty early.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when you get here early, your mindset is totally different from when you run in.
Yeah, late when I'm running late.
When you're running late. Okay. And because we're doing performance radio, we're doing, we're streaming radio, everything that we do, it drains you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't get that.
Right. And performance does do that, Gary. You're right about that. I don't call it health talk radio. It's performance radio. And for a lot of different reasons. If I were to give a lecture or be invited to talk to a broadcasting class, I would break that out and explain what I mean by that.
That's coming next year.
That's okay. and I'm happy to do that. Performance, and some of you do that for a living. Some people go to work, they're at their desk, they're doing their thing, and you're not a public figure, you don't have to perform, you don't give a public speech. Just and at the end, sometimes people will notice at the end they're drained because for them it's very stressful and can be even for the most experienced. When I would teach doing a 2-hour lecture at the university, I'd get to my office, I'd have to sit down for a minute and collect myself. I'd be expended. You're not digging a ditch, you're not doing manual labor, but it's stressful and it drains your energy.
Steve, were you when you were in school, did you do public speaking well? Were you a public speaker in school?
No.
He wouldn't. I would have predicted that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, really, because he, a lot of people don't realize that Steve does the news and traffic and weather, everything for 12:50 in the mornings.
Doesn't mean anything.
Unbelievable job, and he does.
I was terrified of public speaking, and it's a bit different, at least for me with radio, because I'm just talking to Dr. Garko, even though I'm talking to the audience as well, but. You don't have that visual of 7,000 eyes staring you down with the cold sweat coming off of you and everything. So
I could have told you that, and I never knew he. If you would have asked me, I said no. You couldn't get him to give a public speech at gunpoint.
Because I did stand up for a while, and you want to talk about when I would get off the stage, I'd have to have 2 shirts, and I just
and performances like that. But we do perform in our day-to-day life, all of us. And it gets stressful. This time of year, you're trying to perform in a way that puts a drain on all your resources, your time, your money, your effort, your family, everything. And it's so paradoxical because it's supposed to be a celebratory time and to enjoy and embrace. So just, stop for a minute, sit down. Maybe drink your favorite drink, even if it's an eggnog. You know what? And put some rum in it. Sit down for a second and just take a moment and just try to remember why we're doing this in the first place, right? 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK, toll free. If you're calling outside the continental United States, it's 813-636-8255. 813-636-8255. Neil Levin is my guest. He's been a guest for a long time. Always enjoy having Neil on. He's with Now Foods, NOW Foods. And Neil, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy whatever happy makes you happy. Hi, Neil.
Happiness is.
Happiness is, man. How are you?
I'm good. I was in Dubai recently, and get to stay home for a couple months now, so that's a good thing.
Is it true that that there's money that grows on trees in Dubai?
I've seen gold on pillars.
I know you have. What an affluent city, man. Affluent place, isn't it?
It is. It's growing. At one point, there was 25% of the building cranes in the world in Dubai.
Wow. I mean, gosh, what do you make of it? What do you make of it when you're there? I mean, do you get what? Do you get pulled in? I mean, what's running through?
No, it's got fantastic architecture. I mean, it's got the Middle Eastern style to it, so it's very interesting. And the buildings are not just plain rectangular glass towers or anything like that. There's a lot of style to them. It's got the glitz of Vegas without the shows and the gambling and that kind of thing. It's got the shopping.
The languages spoken there are?
Well, Arabic would be the local language, but English is pretty universal. I mean, a lot of the people I deal with there are from Syria, Lebanon, or Egypt, or India. I'm training physicians and pharmacists, and a lot of them are professionals that came from other parts of the Arab or Muslim worlds, typically.
Interesting. Now is international, and so are we. When we come back, Connie from Brandon has a question. She wants to know when's a good time to take fish oil. So I'm going to let Neil field that question. He's good at that. I could give her an answer too, but he's the guest, and we'll take care of that, and we'll see what's on Neil's mind during this holiday season. Dubai, do good.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Neil Levin with Now Foods is my guest, and he's on the line. And let's go to Brandon, Florida. I've been there a time or two. Connie, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Great to be with you.
And your family.
Well, thank you so much. You had a question about fish oil. When
is the best time to take them?
when the fresher fish. No. Neil, when's the best time to take fish oil?
Ideally, you're going to take fish oil or other nutritional oils, as well as oil-soluble nutrients like vitamins A, D, E, and K, or alpha-lipoic acid, curcumin, and things like that. Fats and fat-soluble nutrients are best taken with meals because it takes several grams of fat to trigger pancreatic enzymes and bile from the gallbladder that are used to retrieve fats and carry them to the liver. So taking a tiny amount of something in a capsule is less relevant than that you have the mechanism to actually absorb it, which depends on having several grams of fat. So adding the fish oil to a meal is going to enhance the ability to absorb those fat-soluble nutrients in the meal.
So it turns out, Connie, yes. Neil is absolutely right. Of course, he always is. There are the type of fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, vitamin E, vitamin K. Those are ADEK, A-D-E-K. That's a little an acronym. That's a way to remember it. Those are fat-soluble vitamins, meaning that they're absorbed through, fatty tissue. Then you have water-soluble vitamins, such as vitamin C. Neil was suggesting that fat-soluble vitamins are stored in the body, in the fatty. They can be stored. What you don't use, you store. And so you want to keep that in mind. And they're best absorbed, as he said, when taken with fatty foods. So if you're taking fish oil, you take it with your meal. You might take it with the meal where you're even eating fish or having a salad. There might be olive oil on it, or any type of fat. It'll just metabolize, be digested better, metabolized better, and that's just the way it works. Any dangers, Neil, with fat soy, like vitamin A? Can we consume too much of it and get stored at concentration levels that could be deleterious to our health?
You can't. Vitamin A is probably the one fat-soluble nutrient that, at the lowest amount, you can get too much, and it's generally recommended to stay around 5,000 to 10,000 international units. But beta-carotene does not have the same toxicity, even though it's a form of vitamin A. It's a form of provitamin A or previtamin A. So it doesn't have the same toxicity. And I'll add one more thing about if you're taking a spoonful of fish oil and you might get 14 or 15 grams of fat in a tablespoon, that's plenty to absorb and to kick in that mechanism. It's taking a capsule or two where you might get a gram or two of oil that might not be enough to actually trigger that absorption.
Does that make sense? Connie, did you follow what Neil said there?
Could that be repeated?
Might work.
Sorry.
Say it again, Neil.
Yeah, a spoonful might be enough to take between meals, but not a capsule or two.
Oh, I use the capsules. I don't use,
You use capsules?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How much do you take a day?
I use like 3 capsules.
How much is in a capsule? How much is in a capsule?
They're typically a gram.
So if you're taking 3 capsules, assuming they're 1,000 milligrams, that's 3 grams a day. What do you make? What's your recommendation on the daily recommended dose?
Well, most fish oil capsules are 1,000 milligram. They're like a 22 or 24 oblong soft gel capsule. So they're a large capsule with about a gram of oil in there. Now, the amount of active ingredients, your EPA and DHA, are going to vary from product to product. So you can end up with as little as a couple of 100 milligrams of actives in that 1,000 milligram capsule, or some of the stronger ones are as high as 750 milligrams of EPA and DHA in a single capsule. And you can see the advantage if you could take 1 capsule instead of 3, 4, 5 capsules and get the same amount of actives. It's going to be a lot easier on you to take fewer capsules.
Right.
So that's why we have stronger formulas like our Ultra Omega or things like that, that you get more bang for the buck. You get more potency in each capsule.
877-897-825, toll free. Can call and ask Neil a question, make a comment, wish him happy holidays, whatever you want to do. Connie, did we answer your questions?
It was helpful, yeah.
Right.
It was helpful. I just wanted to know the best time to take. It's with a meal.
Yeah, I would take any of your fat.
It sounds like it has to be broken up, not taken all at once.
Well, listen. If you can, if you can take it, if you can do it throughout the day, that's fine. But if you say, this is my one shot, this is when I take my supplements at my dinner meal, then do it then. Whatever, just get them in. And A, D, E, and K, they're fat soluble vitamins. Best taken with foods that contain fat. Usually take them at a meal. Real quick, Gary.
BCAA question when we come back.
Okay. All right, Connie. Anything else?
No, that would be it for today. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. And Merry Christmas to you. We'll come back with Neil Levin. He wants to talk about essential oils, right, Neil?
Absolutely.
All right. And body oils for seasonal and everyday use. All right. And then we have a branched chain amino acid question. BCAAs.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
During this time of year, people will put fragrances in their house to remind them that it's a holiday season. Okay, that's good. They put it in their car, they'll whatever. Essential oils is a good strategy to do that. And Neil Levin's my guest. We want to talk about that, and there might be even a health benefit in making a health benefit here. Not only make things smell good, but make things better. Neil, welcome back. Essential oils. What are we talking about here? Why the word essential? First of all, what are essential oils, and why the word essential?
Well, essential refers to that they are special oils that are the scent-containing oils from common plants. So, for example, if you smell something cooking, you're smelling a certain fraction of what's in that food that's volatile, that's able to be carried off by the steam in the cooking. So that's typically what is extracted from the plants. They steam distill them, and they take off the volatile oils. Now, there are other oils in those plants. For example, pesticides are not volatile. They're not designed to evaporate. So they're going to stay in the plants. They're not going to be carried off in the essential oils. They almost never find pesticides in essential oils, even though there might have been pesticides used on the crop.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Organic ones.
What do you mean by the word? What do you mean by volatile?
Volatile means it's going to be able to enter the air and float around and let us smell them. So they're very light molecules that are able to be separated from the matrix they're in.
Not volatile meaning dangerous.
No, volatile meaning not stable in that matrix. It's able to be removed from the matrix.
Like you could have a volatile personality disorder of some sort. Right?
Maybe I do.
No, not you, man. No, you don't, man. You're as calm as a Mediterranean Sea.
There you go.
You are. So this is interesting. What would be, okay, what do you mean by carrier oils?
Carrier oil is used as a base to put essential oils because they are so doggone concentrated that you typically don't want to put it directly on the skin or even eat them directly. Essential oils that are designed for internal use are typically diluted in other oils.
So they are the carrier. They are the vehicle in which you put the essential oil to, right? Is that it?
Exactly, and usually you only use 1 to 3% essential oil in a carrier oil to add a scent. So if you have a scented massage oil or something, it's almost always less than 3% essential oil for that scent.
What makes for better carrier oils?
It has to do with the characteristics of the carrier oil itself. And
is coconut oil is coconut oil a good carrier oil?
Coconut oil is a carrier oil. The liquid coconut oil, which is a fraction of coconut oil, is a better one. First of all, it's more liquid.
I see.
And second, it has less scent because it's been processed. So it's able to carry the scent of the essential oil better. The most common one is almond oil.
Okay.
Probably the most useful one is apricot oil in terms of all skin types. Better than almond oil, but not as common.
Right.
And then there's vegetable glycerin, grapeseed oil. Jojoba oil is universally very good for the skin. It's not a food-grade oil. You don't eat jojoba oil, but it's certainly something very similar to skin oils and has a lot of advantages if you're using jojoba oil.
So when a person is using essential oils, there is the oil extracted from the plant and then there is also oil in the product that's carrying that essential oil, correct?
That's right. You're mixing two kinds of oil.
All right. And they mix well. All right. So, with all that being said, go ahead and, I know that now foods, I have at my home, I have the machine that will, you tell the audience about the machine for the essential oils.
Yeah, we make a number of ultrasonic diffusers,
right,
which use ultrasound rather than heat to create a cool vapor that looks like steam, but it's not hot. And as you put a thin layer of oil on top of water inside there, and the ultrasound builds up pressure to force the vapor to break the surface, get coated in a very thin layer of the essential oil, and then as it goes up in the air, you can smell it because it's lighter than air.
Okay.
And this is a way of diffusing or spreading the scent that you want in the room.
Excellent. What's your favorite essential oil to have in the house when you come home from work?
Well, my wife's cooking is kind of a nice essential.
Oh, geez, man! You know how to schmooze your wife. Boy, you are. You know what? You're pretty slick, pal.
Well, it's true, and she's.
I know
listening,
it's true. You're not slick. You're so.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful cook, isn't she?
She is, and she's giving away canned goods like wild grape jelly to favored friends and colleagues. So.
Oh, how nice! Very nice. Very
Homemade.
nice. So beyond your wife, the aroma of the foods that your wonderful wife cooks for you, what is some of your favorite essential oils and why? You're Neil Levin. I'm interested in what Neil likes.
Yeah. Well, we make a blend called Nature's Shield. And it's like the thieves' oil. So it's something that kind of clears the air, is kind of antiseptic, and it contains clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary oils. Some of them are organic oils, and it's it's slightly medicinal, but it's a pleasant flavor because it's got the spices and the orange in there, the citrus in there.
How did you describe it? It cleans the air. Is that what you?
Yeah. Nature's Shield is designed to kind of clear the air.
Clear the air. Clear the air.
Kind of antiseptic.
Doesn't smell like janitor and a drum.
It doesn't smell like a hospital. It smells nice.
Clear the air. That's an expression we use. We need to clear the air. When people are having some sort of issues in their relation, we need to clear the air. Well, let me get my diffuse. Let me
blend called.
Don't forget my BCAA question.
All right. Next time somebody says that to me, I'll say, hold on a second. Let me get my Now Foods ultrasound diffuser and my Nature's Shield, and we'll clear the air. We come back, we'll have a BCA, branched chain amino acid question. We'll talk more about these essential oils. They're a lot of fun.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce
to Let's Talk Nutrition. And here's the LTN health question of the day. Talking with Neil Levin about oils. You know, let's see how well you usually I give you all right, I'll give you the choices. You have essential oils, and the essential oil is mixed with another oil. The essential oil is the extract from the plant, okay? But you just can't use it. It has to be put into another oil. What is that other oil called? Is it called an escort oil, a carrier oil, or a delivery oil? What is the oil called in which the essential oil is put? An escort oil, a carrier oil, or a delivery oil? If you get the right answer, you'll win a $25 supplement gift card. 877-8... Oh, you have a mic.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
There you go. Win the prize. All right, Neil, you're back. So what other favorite oil do you like?
Well, let me give a couple of quick holiday recipes.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, please, go ahead.
This one's called the Wise Men's Gift. And you mix together frankincense, myrrh, and orange oil. And it's 3 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of myrrh, 2 drops of orange oil, and they can go into a diffuser.
All right. That sounds like fun.
There's one called Christmas cookies. And you do 2 drops of cedar wood oil, 3 drops of orange oil, and 3 drops of cinnamon oil.
Sounds good. Cedar.
It's easy.
I love the smell of
together. Yeah.
What's that?
It's easy. If you have a diffuser, you put the water in, and you just add the drops directly on top. You don't have to mix or do anything fancy, and then it diffuses that blend into the air.
Very nice. So, do you have an oil where you can simulate the smell of pine trees?
Well, sure. We have several pine oils, and you can get actually different ones. You can get the cedar, for example, would be one version of it. Another one would be the let's see.
He's looking.
Cypress oil.
Oh, cypress. Yeah, that sounds good. I love the smell of cedar, by the way.
Yeah, there's a pine oil.
All right, so you can.
These are also good to refresh potpourris or to put on. If you have a wreath or something and you want to add a little scent, just put a drop or 2 on there. You can freshen it up.
Sounds good. Let's go to Doylestown. Amy, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Snowing, raining, sunshine. What are we doing up in Doylestown today?
Let's see. Hopefully we'll get, it's hovering around 32 degrees.
Oh.
2 inches of snow on the ground and maybe a little bit of light dusting today.
All right. It's right for this. Good for this.
And bring a shovel.
And bring and bring a shovel. Oh man, are you born and raised in Doylestown?
From the Philadelphia area, I am.
Yeah.
I'm actually born in Coatesville, which is south of Philly. Now we live north of Philly.
I see. In a word, how would you describe that where you live? What are the people like there?
There's a mix of people. We get a mix of people from Philadelphia area and mix of people from New York area. So it's a nice mix of different cultures. Pleasant people. Pleasant.
Got blue-collar workers, white-collar mix?
Exactly.
Ethnically diverse?
Exactly.
Nationalities, Polish, Italian, Irish, I suspect, and whatever, right?
Yep. Love them all.
Love them all. That's how I grew up. I find it so interesting that in the universities and colleges, they're now talking about cultural diversity and this and that. It's very trendy to do that these days, and it's a legitimate thing to do and talk about. Of course, I'm not deriding it. I grew up in cultural diversity many decades ago, and that's all I've ever known. It's a nice way to. I grew up in Pittsburgh. My neighborhood we were all immigrants. For the most.
What area in Pittsburgh?
Right in Pittsburgh. I mean, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Polish, Italian, Irish, German, you name it. Slovak. Yeah. I mean, it was African Americans in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, it was something. Catholic, Protestant, whatever. It was amazing. I truly enjoyed it. Nevertheless, I didn't mean. I'm just curious as to how people living their lives where they live, because it does bear upon your wellness and your well-being. It does make a difference where you live, doesn't it?
It does. You have to understand other people and why they think the way they do.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, so what do we call that oil that the essential oil was put in? Is it called an escort oil, a carrier oil, or a delivery oil?
Carrier.
It's called a carrier oil. All those three words sort of mean the same thing. I would call it an escort oil, but, essential and escort, nice alliteration. So, but congratulations, and thank you for entertaining my question about where you live and what it's like.
I appreciate your mindfulness.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to extend the deepest and most sincere holiday wishes to you and your family. And I hope that the coming year will be a good year for your health and wellness and well-being for all those people in your life that you care about and love.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll catch you the next time. Congratulations and thank you for listening. Neil, thank you. Now products are sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. Their essential oils are among the best. They do a phenomenal job with that. They do a phenomenal job with a lot of stuff. And enjoy your wife's holiday cooking, Neil, you lucky dog.
I'm very lucky. Merry Christmas and stay healthy, my friend.
Merry Christmas, Neil. Happy Hanukkah. And we love you and we appreciate you. And although I've never met your wife, I know she listens all the time. Gary and I feel like we do know her. So you take care of yourself. Have a wonderful weekend. Be joyful.